Welcome back to our channel, and today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic that I like so much. And that topic is called Model Context Protocol, or in short, MCP. So, MCP is just like a way of organizing the information you have around you so that you can notify the AI about the context in which it is operating in. A long time ago, when this, not a long time, for a 1 year ago, maybe 2 years ago, when these protocols introduced, it was very hard for AI to understand the context from which you operate in. It's very hard to understand for AI to know about your knowledge, your discoveries, and everything around your work. With the introduction of MSP, AI is able to see, feel, and react with the change you make with the AI. So now, what is the problem? Why has the MCP hasn't picked as the AI has picked? It turned out that when AI is about to work, it uses something called tokens. And this is how the AI interact with its, this is how the AI get inference, or this is how AI understand and able to return back the tokens back to you so that you can be able to see what AI has produced. And this is what is called consuming the tokens. So a long time ago, was very hard for this MCP to be more useful because of how this concept of token is structured. Basically, when you create token, when you create a prompt, you're basically telling AI to generate the tokens, which will then be converted into money you need to pay. So when you're using the MCP, you are connecting multiple servers. Let's say that you want to be able to communicate with your database, or you want to be able to communicate with your PDF documents you have on your machine. So when you connect different MCP servers, that is going to help you. These MCP servers comes with the predefined tokens you need to consume. And remember, this AI has a context window that is going to be a limitation for you to what you can be able to feed inside this AI. So with a short window, then you have no chance to properly utilize the MCP servers as you think. So this is why in this video, we're going to explore why MCP has been a failure at this point, and why this Anthropic claim of what they have discovered today might be a big feature and a big change to MCP server in general. So, reading this article, they are saying that they have improved the MCP server as we know it, and they have added three features to MCP servers to address the issues that we have seen in MCP servers. Being that in MCP servers, you would have a limited short window that you have at your disposals, and also with MCP enabled, that you are going to tend to use a lot of money in AI you are consuming and the tokens. So let's go with this article. So they're saying the future AI agent is one where models work seamlessly across hundreds of thousands of tools. An ID assistant that integrates Git operation, files manipulation, package managers, testing frameworks, and deployment pipelines. This is an ideal framework and how we want the AI to work. Currently, we don't have that, and that's what the purpose of MCP came to solve, is the ability for you to be able to connect with different tools that you are already familiar with, and also be able to connect those tools to AI so that AI can get the information from those tools, so that you can be able to interact with the tools you already have and be able to communicate with it and get the response back and forth, and be able to rate the AI controls those tools but also giving the insight and information on top of the tools you already have. So let's keep going. To build effective agents, they need to work with unlimited tool libraries without surfing every definition into the context upfront. So what this means? So initially, when let's say AI wanted to connect to Git as a tool, or want to connect to any set of tools that you might already have it installed on your machine, it will need to first get the context definition of that tool and feed that definition into the AI. Remember, we said that we have a context window which can be limited to a number of tokens you are allowed with that token. So, with that being said, then you have this MCP that is wanting to connect multiple tools that have a larger amount of tokens that you need to feed in that MCP, and you already have a context window that doesn't allow you to have multiple context window size. So that's what they are saying here. So with multiple MCP server, you need to load all those contexts inside. So, and this sometimes, of course, as they're saying, you will find that bringing these tools up front, you will already consume 50,000 tokens and more with of the token. And these agents, as they call it, should discover and load those tools on demand. You don't know which tools are loading. If you enable MCP on one of the AI you are using, being inside the code editor such as Cursor or other code editors you might be having that has an AI, but also has these so-called MCP servers. If you toggle the the MCP servers, initially is going to send the 5,000 tokens of definitions of the tools that you already have on your machine, send it to AI, and for that AI to be able to understand the context and the tools you already have. So you see the issue here that we're already consuming the tokens that we haven't yet started to work on the things we wanted to work on. And also, more importantly, you don't even know which tools that AI has decided to pick and use in the current task you are doing. Agents also need the ability to call tools from code. When using natural language tool calling, each invocation require a full inference pass and the intermediate result pile, and all of these pile up in the context and whether they are useful or not. So, what they're saying here is that the way I come up with deciding the use of the tools is what is called inference. Inference is the way of AI to define and determine whether the specific tools is going to decide to use is useful or not useful. And the way it knows it is just to correct the data, send it to AI models, and for the AI model to get the inference and send it back whether this tool is going to be useful or not. Agent also need ability to call tools from coders. I think we have seen this. And agent also need to learn correct tools usage from example, not just schema definition. For example, JSON schema define what structurally valid but can't express usage pattern. When to include optional parameters which combine make sense, or which combination makes sense, or what convention your API might expect. So this is the challenges. You already have the API, but AI can't define which structure, which combination of how your API should be called, and which convention that your API might expect. It might even expect something different. So AI will need to do a lot of combination in order to come up with a specific predefined way of accessing your solution. So now for that problem they highlighted, they're bringing three innovation, if I call. to address these issues. The first thing is tool search tool. So this is a mechanism they are bringing in order to preload the tools that you have on your machine as a context. So they are bringing a solution where they already defined the tools to use for every specific cases that you might be working on. This is the first thing. The second thing is they are going to implement. They already have this programmatic tool calling, which means that they are not going to try to try every tools to see which one is working, but they're going to use the tool given to the task. And this will allow crowd to invoke tools in a code execution environment, reducing the impact on the model's context window. So they are already addressing the issue where you needed to feed the information definition of the tools to the AI, which was initially reducing the context window before you even start working on the solution you're working on. So another solution they are bringing is the tool use examples. So they will have a predefined examples of how a tool should be used and what is the best way of the tools to be used. Initially, they had to try if they believe that maybe, for instance, Git is the best tool to use for this project, they will try that tool ahead of time and just try to see if they fail. If they fail, they will try another tool until they find the correct tool. And at that moment, they already exhausted the context window that you already have. And they are saying that given the examples and how they've been testing these tools, they have seen a reduction of usage of context window. And for example, they have tried the different things like CRUD for Excel, which is a programmatic tool coding to read and modify spreadsheet. And this seems like a tool they have to test out this new solution they are bringing to MCP servers. And you can even see this video, which I'm not going to play. So this video shows that with a context window enabled and a context window disabled, amount of tokens that you need to consume before you even start working on actual task, which is I think is the major change in these things they are saying here. So to put it in illustrations, let's say that you have like 4 MCP servers. Let's say that you have GitHub MCP servers, you have Slack MCP server, you have Sentry MCP server, you have Grafana MCP server, and you have Splunk MCP servers. So you have connected all these MCP servers, but for them to start working, you need at least around 55,000 tokens in order to get the information from these MCP servers and pass them to the AI. So you have already consumed 55,000 tokens before you even initially start working on the solution. So they believe that this solution is going to increase the developer efficiency in terms of cost, because before you needed to spend more tokens before you even start working on the solution. And also I think they are saying that is going to reduce the space that you're going to consume when using these new MCP protocols they have, because initially now they're going to start all the information they need. If you're going to need a specific tool, they are going to know which tools best for the case, and they're not going to feed the definition of the tool to the AI, which is going to reduce the token that you're going to consume. I think this is really very important things they're working on. For me personally, I tried to use different MCP. The one I tried is Gemini Flutter MCP servers. And I think I personally noticed that this issue is real, because before, remember, the Google already provided like 1 million tokens ahead of time. So initially I couldn't exhaust the 1 million token, like no matter how I tried to exhaust the tokens, I will still have enough token for me to be able to do some things. But with MCP enabled, before you even start working on something, they're going to tell you that the token has already exhausted. And if you don't know, this MCP server by default on some AI will be toggled on, and which in most cases you will not know why the token has why are you having a race and racer context window. I think more to comes, and there are more interesting things to watch on, and let's see if this is going to improve the developer experiences slash the cost efficiency as the intention of this. Thank you for watching the video, and if you like the video, please remember to subscribe to my channel and follow me for more videos to comes, and I will keep improving. You can see that I'm not good at speaking, but I'm going to start improving day by day. And please don't let that be the limitation for you not subscribing to my channel. See you next time.